And let's begin with security matters. President Bola Tinubu says his government remains fully committed to reclaiming forested and ungoverned areas from terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminal elements across the country. Addressing elders and leaders of Katsina State during a state dinner at the government house on Friday night, the president announced that advanced surveillance tools and modern technology will be deployed to strengthen the fight against insecurity, including banditry and terrorism. In a statement released Saturday by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president also spoke of encouraging signs in the national and the nation's economy, crediting recent policy reforms for spurring early signs of recovery. President Tinubu further pledged support for victims of terrorism, promising assistance to help them rebuild and reclaim their lives. The president's remarks come amid ongoing security operations across several states as communities continue to call for sustained government action to ensure lasting peace. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has pledged stronger collaboration with the Katsina State government to boost agricultural mechanization and food security across the state. Now, President Tinubu made this pledge during his first official visit to Katsina State while he commissioned the state's newly built agricultural mechanization center and a 24-kilometer dual carriageway. He described mechanized farming as a vital investment, assuring residents of the federal government's commitment to their progress. Jamil Mabai tells us more.
A historic welcome for President Tinubu in Katsina. His first official visit since assumption of office. Despite security challenges, residents turned out in large numbers to get a glimpse of the president. Joined by Governors Babagana Zulum, Obasani, APC Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, and other dignitaries.
I want to congratulate
President Tinubu praised Governor Ratner's achievement in 2 years.
you. Are seeing the result. With strong determination and great effort that you have committed into the programs of rebuilding Katsina State, you will not walk alone.
He commissioned the new Agricultural Mechanization Center, equipped with 400 tractors, 10 harvesters, and 6,000 solar-powered pumps to boost productivity.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Katsina State is an agrarian state, and most of our people depend on agriculture for their livelihood. We have over 450,000 small farmers in the state, with an average land size of 2.5 hectares, most of whom really rely on government to support to produce profitably and sustainably.
What we are commissioning is effort to banish hunger, commitment to food sovereignty, great empowerment for our people, small and large-scale farmers.
At a banquet, Governor Ratner reiterated the state's commitment to tackling insecurity with federal backing.
The only thing that is lacking, they don't have superior weapons. They are using pop action, and the bandits are using AK-47. If there should be any collaboration between our community watch, along with the Nigerian army and the police, it could have made the job much easier, and it will support and help our people. Your Excellency, we need your support in that direction.
In Katsina, for News Central, Jamil Mabai.
Still on security matters, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petitions has summoned the governors of Benway and Zamfara states, Haisat Aliyah and Dauda Lawal, along with their respective state assemblies in response to escalating insecurity in the two states. The summons followed a petition from civil rights group Guardians of Democracy and Rule of Law, which called on the House to resume the constitutional responsibilities of both state assemblies, citing a failure to address the deteriorating security situation. Now, the parties have been scheduled to appear before the committee on Thursday, May 8th, to defend their roles in addressing the crisis. Committee Chairman Mike Aitaba signed the summons, stating that the parties are fully aware of the issues at hand. He added that the committee's objective is to uphold the rule of law and promote transparency in the handling of threats to public safety. In the meantime, Benway State has for some time remained in the news for the wrong reasons, a state that can be said to be under siege due to continued attacks on communities allegedly by armed herders. With several communities sacked, the impact of this lingering farmer herder crisis is pushing the state to the brink, as several of the predominantly agrarian communities are now dislodged and unable to take advantage of the farming season. News Center's Sagir Ibrahim recently visited some of the affected communities in Benway State to uncover the stories behind the headlines. Take a look.
Benway State is known as Nigeria's food basket. However, there are growing concerns that it may gradually be losing that reputation. Attacks on agrarian communities across several local government areas in the state have left many farmers displaced and afraid to return to their farms for fear of being attacked or even killed. Ukum and Logo local governments in Sankera are the most recently attacked, with the death toll, according to official figures, reaching 56, the highest in many months. During our visit to Katsina Ala, also in the Sankera axis, drivers at the Katsina Ala Zakibian Park describe the economic toll the attacks are having on their businesses.
We have issue of security. That is one of our major problems here. Because people are now traveling out. They don't have access to come to market due to all insecurity. That is why this road is always quiet like this. If there is enough security that can guide us, can guide farmers to do work and bring things to the market, there will be enough product here in Katsina Ala.
My vehicle is parked there because of the problem we're having, the challenges of the problem we're having here. And there is no passenger because of the crisis. And people in the villages are not able to move because they're all packed, bundled in the one place, because they can't go back to their various places because of the crisis. And some of us that used to apply the road were afraid of being killed by those bad guys on the way. And the road also is very bad. Coupled with that, things are becoming very tough.
With reported attacks also in Katsina Ala, Kega Ove and Musa Vange from Shika village lament the lack of access to their farms for the farming season. They say that they are afraid of being attacked and appeal to government for quick intervention. The big problem we have here in Sankera is the herdsmen. We can't go to our farms because anytime we try, they attack and kill our people right there on the farm. The herdsmen come at night and kill many people while they are sleeping. My family and I have been forced to leave our home, and now we are staying in town. I want to beg President Bola Tinubu to hear our cry and help us. We need security because right now we can't go to our farms. If we try to go back home, the herdsmen will kill us. Sometimes officials come only after many people have already died. What usually happens is security will come during the day, walk around and then leave. At night, after they are gone, the herdsmen return and attack our people again. From Katsina Ala to Kwande and then to Bachon village located in Jatoka district, many residents have fled their communities following attacks by gunmen. With only a few villagers returning, many say they now tend to their farms only during the day and leave before nightfall for fear of further attacks.
We are finding it very difficult even to sleep and even to stay here. It is this week that you can see most of us in this environment, because normally if you come here, they will still begin to shoot and start shooting the guns whenever they see any person.
We are afraid of it. We cannot even go close to the river bank, and that is our own matrimonial home that which our great parents live. Now, we are asking the president that they should even narrate it so that even the international communities will help us. But Nigerian government, we think Nigerian government is not doing something better for the community. I'm not even blaming them. I knew they can help us. So I'm pleading that they should help us so that we live friendly.
District Head of Jatoka, Muiti Simon Bave, describes the situation as desperate for him and his people, calling for improved security as the few personnel available are not enough.
No person is going to farm till today. We are here in Jatoka here, about 4 districts are here, this place, come and hang out themselves in Jatoka here. If we move about this wire load, this is the Kashimbra load, going to Taraba State. If we go about 4 kilometers, you can't move from 4 kilometers, you alone. Let the security people will be accompany you to go there. Our people are desperate. Let him add security here more. They'll call about 500, 200 ones to come and attack us. The army are here, but they're not enough.
According to Governor Hyacinth Alia, 6 local governments in the state remain under heavy attacks by suspected armed herders. This has crippled farming activities in many parts of the state and could negatively affect the state's economy. In Benway, for News Central, Sagir Ibrahim.
Watch out for the food documentary on the aftermath of the attacks on some Benue communities, according to the findings by News Central. And that one was filed there by Sagir Ibrahim. Still on security matters, suspected Boko Haram insurgents have reportedly attacked the 27 Task Force Brigade Mele Kyari in Gujab, local government area of the state. Now, this is coming less than 48 hours after the Northeast Governors held its 11th forum meeting in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital. Now, residents of Mele Kyari said that the insurgents who came in the early hours of Saturday targeted the military base. The insurgents had, in the last few weeks, attacked military formations, destroyed a cell covert along Goniri Road, as well as abducted individuals along the Damaturu Banuri Garu Biu Road. Let's go on a short break, shall we? When we return, there's plenty more stories. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Oh, and you're welcome back. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, and the Nigerian Guild of Editors are demanding an immediate end to the use of the Cybercrimes Act to crack down on journalists, activists, and other citizens expressing their opinions online. In a joint statement signed by SERAP's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare and the Guild's General Secretary Dr. Eyobosa Owoguriari, the groups labeled the law as draconian, warning that its continued application undermines democratic principles and violates both constitutional rights and international human rights standards. The organizations are also calling for the immediate release of individuals currently detained under the Cybercrimes Act nationwide. They insist that in a democratic society, authorities must tolerate peaceful dissent and uphold press freedom, vital tools for holding leaders accountable to their oaths and promises. The Nigerian government is yet to respond to the statement. Meanwhile, advocacy groups say they will continue to push for reforms that protect free speech and civil liberties. Elder statesman and Afenifere leader Chief Adebayo Adibanjo has been laid to rest in Isanya Ogbo, it's in Ogun State. Now, the funeral drew dignitaries from across the country, all gathered to honor a man who remained steadfast in his principles till the very end. News Central's Israel Iferobo was there and now reports.
The quiet town of Isanya near Djibouti swelled with emotions and reverence today as Nigeria laid to rest one of its most principled voices, Chief Adebayo Adibanjo, Yoruba nationalist, elder statesman, and uncompromising advocate of justice and true federalism. Inside the historic St. Philip's Anglican Church, where the final burial service was held, dignitaries, political leaders, traditional rulers, and citizens from all walks of life gathered to pay the final respects.
Today, with this sense of appreciation to God, we are here assembled in this holy sanctuary of God to celebrate the purposeful life of our 21 years, I have, by the grace of God, maintained close relationship with Papa Adebayo Adibanjo, whose body is before us this particular morning.
Chief Adebanjo, who passed away peacefully on February 14, 2025 at the age of 97, was one of the last surviving titans of Nigeria's political struggle and a long-term leader of the pan-Yoruba social political group Afenifere. Tribute poured in not only for his decades of political advocacy, but for his role as a moral compass in a country often shaken by political and ethnic divisions and also corruption.
Chief Adebanjo was a good man who did everything in his power to ensure the triumph of justice, fairness, and progress. As Nigeria continues towards its democratic consolidation and national restructuring, the life of Chief Adebanjo remains a timeless blueprint, one defined by courage, conviction, and unbending integrity.
The funeral service was marked by hymns, scripture readings, and moments of silence as family members, clergy, and associates celebrated a man many called the last of a noble generation.
He was an elder statesman, a man that meant different things to different people. You can say it was controversial, you can say it was difficult, but you also will know that he loves the country.
Adebanjo is man of many parts. He's a humanist. He's one who has come, he conquered. He's one who has integrity in all that he does.
Though the man is gone, many believe his legacy will continue to shape conversations around justice, restructuring, and the future of the Nigerian Federation.
As Chief Adebanjo is today laid to rest, Nigeria also lays to rest a voice that never wavered. It has called for justice, equity, and true federalism. From St. Philip's Anglican Church, Isonya Ogboyi Ijebu, Ogun State, for News Central, Israel Iferobo.
Amid swirling rumors of his arrest by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, former Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has broken his silence. In a statement posted on late Saturday on his official X handle, Kyari described the reports as clear mischief and a calculated attempt to discredit his name and service. The former oil chief, who led the NNPCL for nearly 6 years and spent 34 years in the organization, said he is currently enjoying what he called a, quote, well-deserved rest following the recent dissolution of the company's board and management. Kyari reiterated his openness to respond to any lawful inquiry about his tenure, insisting his record reflects transparency, respect for institutions, and accountability before both the public and God. He also urged the media to show restraint and verify their information, warning that the spread of false narratives could harm national interest and Nigeria's global image. And out of politics, as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized claims of electoral reforms by the current administration, saying that the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC, is not committed to ensuring its conclusion. The former vice president, while speaking at the inaugural conference of the Nigerian Youths for Atiku, says that the All Progressives Congress will attempt taking advantage of the deficiencies of the nation's Electoral Act to win the next elections, but urged Nigerian youths present to work towards surmounting this seeming challenge. He says young citizens will stand for what they believe and discard incompetent and untruthful politicians. Others present, including the former Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, tasked the youths present there to stand behind the former Vice President, saying he is a model of transparency and honesty.
There are challenges, but you must dedicate yourselves to confronting those challenges. If you don't dedicate yourself to confronting those challenges, you have no future.
When we witnessed an improvement in our electoral process during Buhari's time, and he knew that if he signed that amendment, it could affect his re-election, he decided not to sign. He left it until he secured his second term before signing the amendments. Now we have a similar situation. There are amendments in the pipeline, but I don't see this president signing those amendments even if they are passed by the National Assembly, because he wants to exploit the loopholes.
All over Nigeria, people who have aspired for different seats, till today, we're still on the Atiku mandate. We can't be tempted, we can't be bought. There's no amount of money they can give us that will make us drop the Atiku dream, because it is a dream for a better Nigeria. No one should fool us politically that any other candidate can remove the people in seat right now. There's no other candidate that can accumulate the votes that we need. There's no other person apart from His Excellency Atiku Abubakar.
We need leaders who are transparent. We need leaders who are able to show us good examples. We need a high road leader, not the low road leader. Have you ever heard that Atiku was ever linked to the murder of any person? Have you ever heard that Atiku was ever linked to carrying drugs? Have you ever heard that Atiku does not have a history? Have you ever heard that Atiku's primary school, secondary school, higher education are shrouded in mystery?
At the recently concluded Northeast Creativity and Innovation Summit 2025 in Maiduguri, young innovators were encouraged to embrace resilience as a key to sustainable growth. The summit, themed Step Out and Innovate, brought together over 300 participants from across the region to the University of Maiduguri to explore strategies for sustainable development. News Central's Umari Kirawa has more.
A hub of networking and collaboration, the Northeast Creativity and Innovation Summit 2025 united young minds from across the region, fostering partnerships across various sectors. Participants engaged in panel discussions, mentorship sessions, and collaborative projects, creating a platform to share ideas, experiences, and resources.
Funding is a big challenge for a lot of startups, but I think more than funding, some of the things that startups need, and especially young people now in the Northeast, are the technical abilities to be able to identify the skills that they need to grow, and then the networks and the platforms and other resources to be able to scale up their ideas.
There's a lot of hope already. From what I've seen in the Northeast, if we can get this quantum of innovations and inventions in the Northeast at this time, when we're still troubled, poverty is still to some extent, unemployment, and people are still gearing towards innovation. My goodness, the future of the Northeast innovation industry is bright.
Keynote speakers underscored the value of perseverance and adaptability in driving innovation, especially in regions grappling with socio-economic and environmental challenges.
We must inspire the private sector to co-invest in solutions, not just charity. We are tired of this charity. Please come and co-invest so that our brightest ideas will be transformed into something reasonable that will benefit humanity.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the entire federal government recognizes that the youth of the Northeast represents our greatest asset and the brightest hope. Government alone cannot drive innovation. It requires a vibrant ecosystem of academia, of private sector, of development partners, and civil society working collaboratively toward a shared goals.
A highlight of the summit was the innovation competition, where participants pitched their sustainable solutions to a panel of judges. Winners received mentorship and support to scale up their ideas.
Today, we have seen the benefit of the free sunlight that we have been enjoying. For 5-10 years to come, whether we like it or not, we must adopt innovation and move with it, or we'll be left behind. It is even late now.
if we can, start from the grassroots, from the secondary school level up to the university level or tertiary level, and I believe the youths that are out of school, maybe all the youth that are charlatans, all the youth that they don't have a sense of belonging, they can come to Bidda to look for this kind of a space to train themselves and to learn.
The summit placed strong emphasis on sustainable development, encouraging young innovators to integrate eco-friendly and socially impactful practices into their projects. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
Unemployment in Nigeria continues to be a significant challenge, with millions of young graduates facing limited job opportunities. The country's unemployment rate is expected to reach 4.84% by 2025, leaving around 3.9 million Nigerians without work. As the job market struggles to accommodate a growing number of graduates, many Nigerians are turning to alternative sources of income to survive. News Central's Shewaishe Eyo has more on this. Take a look.
With a highly educated and eager youth population, Nigeria's unemployment crisis is having a profound impact on the economy. From starting small businesses to seeking remote work, Nigerians are adapting to a harsh economic reality where jobs are limited and opportunities are few.
The reality is that the unemployment situation is extremely very bad. It cannot be anything around 5% or 3% or whatever. So for purpose of policy and data, I think what is important is to look at what the geographical spread of those unemployment problem. To look at the challenges, the sectors that have the prospects to create more jobs, and what can we do to remove barriers in those sectors.
Many Nigerians are embracing entrepreneurship, using their skills and talents to create income-generating ventures. The agricultural sector in particular has seen a rise in people turning to farming, livestock rearing, and fishing. Recent figures from the National Bureau of Statistics show that over 70% of Nigeria's population is engaged in agriculture, with many now returning to the land as a means of survival.
The agricultural sector is a major employer of labor, and the challenge of insecurity has disrupted that sector significantly.
Most times when you see a job, they will tell you that your salary is 50,000, and inside 50,000 is not enough. So I motivated myself to just learn something. So this one is even more better.
I expect me after practicing, I should see an hospital that will just take us. We started working, but their pace is not okay. So that's the reason why I'm here.
This Nigeria now, everybody must strive, because only man no fit carry this people, no fit survive everything now.
There is an urgent need for coordinated action, such as investment in skills development, support for small businesses, and policies that foster innovation.
But the responsibility of government is to create environment, the policy environment, the macroeconomic environment, so that whatever money you have will have value. Once you create the environment, it is left for the young people to now think that, okay, this is the environment, what can I do?
While many Nigerians are finding creative ways to sustain themselves, the need for long-term solutions remains pressing. Experts are calling for immediate government intervention to create more sustainable job opportunities and address the root causes of unemployment. In Lagos, for News Central, Sewisi Anyo.
As part of International Women's Day commemorations, community dialogues have sparked calls for men urging women to align their spending habits with the prevailing economic conditions. During a forum discussion in Borno State on supporting women, several men voiced concerns over financial pressures stemming from inflation, job losses, and the rising cost of living. News Central's Umaru Kirawa completes the story.
A walk that brought together both men and women from across Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, sought to reinforce a message of inclusivity and progress. In the spirit of International Women's Day, Men in Maiduguri used the occasion to open conversations about shared economic responsibility within households.
Na farko mun samu crisis da Boko Haram. Ana gama wannan aka zo aka yi gobara da ya kone Monday market nan. 90% ɗin kasuwar nan maza ne a cikin wannan kasuwar. Jarin su ya kone. Mun zo mun gama wannan ba mu ga warkewa ba kuma Allah ya sake kawo natural disaster muka samu flood. To kaga ire-iren wannan kalubalen da ya same mu. Lalle mun samu jarabawa babba da ya kamata matan mu su ringa overlooking. Kai ka zo da frustration kuma ta zo ta kara ma wani abu. Ba kowa wani zai iya resistance.
Ina advocating kuma ina holding ku organizers na wannan meeting din mu yi enlightening mutane sosai.
The men noted that while women's empowerment remains critical, there is the need for practical financial cooperation within the home. The event also featured women speakers who called for joint financial planning and encouraged couples to maintain open communication to weather the economic storm together.
Women continue to face barriers to education, economic opportunities, and healthcare. Let's listen to what I will say is that we should listen to women's voice, amplify their stories, and also support their leadership. We can only do that if we work together. We can create a world where women and girls are valued, respected, and empowered.
We are working to improve the community resiliency. That means most of the challenges are climate related. Most of the challenges are conflict related. So the project is working to address the root causes by using social inclusion, by using community engagement.
Women participants agreed that collaboration and mutual understanding are key to surviving tough times, while also pushing for increased financial literacy for both genders. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umar Kirawa.
The Ogori people of Kogi State are the Akoko people, the Akoko group of the Yoruba people. This tribe values their culture, though many have adopted Christianity and Islam as their major religions. Now, they have a very unique festival. It's called the Ovia Festival, which is a rite of passage for young girls transitioning into womanhood. But beyond that is a significant event that draws together Ogori people from across the globe and is considered a unifying factor and a living reminder of their rich cultural heritage. News Central's Blessings Musugo tells us more.
The Ogori people of Kogi State are the Akoko group of the Yoruba people. This tribe values their culture, though many have adopted Christianity and Islam as their major religions. They have a unique festival, the Ovia Festival, which is a rite of passage for young girls transitioning into womanhood. But beyond that is a significant event that draws together Ogori people from across the globe and is considered a unifying factor and a living reminder of their rich cultural heritage.
Well, Ovia Festival is a flagship festival of the Ogori people. It's as old as Ogori itself. And it's actually initiation of young maidens into womanhood. But it is much more than that. It's not just preparing a lady for a husband's house. It is preparing a lady to actually take her position in the society, because women are regarded in the Ogori society. So she is prepared to take her position in the society at large. But today is a bit unique because we had to commission the statue, the Ovia statue. That is our, like something that stands like a flag, something we identify with. That's one Ovia dancing, you know, so that's our hallmark. The grand finale, and that's the day we display all the Ovias, call them the Evias. all of them. They will come, they will dance, and we'll still celebrate together. And then our dignitaries will come, no Ogori.
It prepares the girl child to become a value-adding member of society. Because even before formal education came into Ogori, there was the structured informal education where the young girls who had come of age and would be initiated during the Ovia Festival were kept under the tutelage of the Iodina and taught industrial skills, you know, that enables them to contribute economically, culturally and socially to the well-being and development of the society. So of course, it's no longer as it used to be, it's been modernized, but we continue to celebrate this as our cultural heritage, which we are never, ever, ever going to stop.
This festival has thrived and refused erasure despite modernity. It has only now evolved to be more of a tourist attraction and a unifying force for Ogorians, as they call them, all over the world. The crowd finally danced towards the arena, where the president of the Ogori Descendants Union officially declares the carnival closed. Bearing in mind, there's so much more activities to come during this event. In Kogi for News Central, Blessings Mosugu.
In a determined effort to eradicate polio in Abia State, the state government has launched the Immunization Plus Days campaign, urging mothers to ensure their children are vaccinated. The flag-off ceremony was performed by Priscilla Oti, the wife of Governor Alex Oti, at the Aba South Local Government headquarters on Friday. News Center's Chinwe Ugeli reports.
The campaign aims to sensitize mothers on the importance of routine immunization and ensure that every eligible child receives the polio vaccine. Representing the governor's wife, the wife of the deputy governor, Chidera Emeto, reiterates the government's unwavering commitment to eradicating polio from the state.
I urge all Abians to join hands with us. Let us work together to ensure that every child is reached, every community is covered, and every life is protected.
She encourages mothers to take advantage of the free vaccines available at all primary health care centers, describing immunization as an investment in their children's health.
Let us seize this moment to reaffirm our commitment to healthcare, to our children, and to our community. Let us strive to create a society where every child has access to quality healthcare, education, and opportunities for growth and development.
Also speaking at the event, the Commissioner for Health, Enoch Uche, represented by the Chief Medical Director of Abia State University Teaching Hospital, Ijoma Nduka, highlights the ongoing upgrade of primary health care centers as a strategic step to strengthen healthcare delivery and protect lives.
We are not yet out of the woods. We must remain vigilant and continue our efforts until we achieve complete eradication of polio in our state.
The Executive Secretary of the Abia State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Carlo, assures that trained vaccinators would reach every household to ensure that no child is left behind.
Because I think that some of the children in Abia State are not immunized, and immunization has been assured the safest, the most cost-effective intervention in human life.
The World Health Organization, a key partner in the campaign through its representative Al-Qasim Musa, stresses the importance of increased government investment in the fight against polio.
We hope that in this campaign and this campaign mothers and the caregivers will give their children for this vaccination. It is safe, it is free, and it is very effective.
Some mothers also shared their thoughts on immunization and its benefits for their children. Abia State recorded one case of polio in 2023 and appears resolute in its efforts to prevent more cases. In Omahia for News Central, Chinwe Ugeli.
In Mali's capital, Bamako, hundreds of demonstrators gathered Saturday in a show of resistance following a call from a broad coalition of political parties. The protest comes amid growing fears that the ruling military junta is preparing to dissolve political parties altogether. Now, this wave of concern was triggered by the junta's decision on Wednesday to repeal a key charter that outlined the creation and operations of political parties, a move legal experts believe could be a precursor to banning them outright. The decision follows a recent national consultation led by the junta, during which participants recommended the dissolution of existing parties and the introduction of stricter regulations for forming new ones. Now, despite a tightening grip on dissent and a rapidly shrinking civic society or civic space, political groups are voicing defiance, warning that the latest actions could mark a further slide away from democratic governance. A deadly crash in South Africa's Eastern Cape has left 15 people dead and 5 others seriously injured. The collision, which took place around midnight on Saturday, involved a minibus, taxi, and a pickup truck near Makoma, approximately 1,000 kilometers south of Johannesburg. Provincial transport spokesperson confirmed the fatalities and added that both drivers were among the victims. He also stated that an inquest would be opened to determine the cause of the crash. The victims included 13 passengers in the minibus, which was reportedly traveling from Kwais to Cape Town, a journey of nearly 1,000 kilometers. The injured are being treated for serious injuries in nearby hospitals. Now, South Africa's roads, despite their sophistication, remain among the most dangerous in the world. High-speed driving, reckless behavior, and unroadworthy vehicles, are often cited as contributing factors to the country's alarming road fatality rate. Now, in 2023 alone, more than 11,800 people lost their lives in road accidents, with pedestrians accounting for nearly half of the fatalities. Now, Sudan Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, on Sunday carried out drone strikes on key military and civilian targets in Port Sudan, according to the country's army. Now, the army spokesman, Nabil Abdullah, confirmed that RSF suicide drones targeted the Usman Dingna Air Base, a goods warehouse, and a civilian infrastructure in the city. The RSF, led by Mohammed Amdan Danglo, has intensified its use of drones in recent weeks after losing significant ground, including much of the capital, Khartoum, in March. Now, Sunday strikes, which also hit the airport in nearby Kassala, signal a dangerous expansion in the scope of RSF attacks, reaching far beyond the traditional front lines of the conflict. Now, the brutal war between the RSF and Sudan's regular army, commanded by de facto leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has already claimed tens of thousands of lives and displaced more than 13 million people. It's the first time the eastern coastal city, home to the army-backed government, has come under direct attack since the war began in April of 2023. And that's what we can take at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. President Tinubu vows to reclaim forests from terrorists. Serap Editors Guild demand end to Cybercrimes Act. And we also told you that RSF has launched first drone strike on Port Sudan. Now, do remember that you can send us your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number now showing on the screen. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on social media. We're at News Central TV on all social media platforms. You can always watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422. We're now on GoTV. Find us on channel 23. We're also on Star Times channel 274. Find us on Avo TV, or better yet, you can stream us live on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Judith at TV. Bye for now. Or better yet, good night.